What's going on, guys? It's Ghosthusky10, Irish Unity, giving you some thoughts and rundown on the new information that we have about the Operation Skull Rain that Ubisoft is releasing on August 2nd for Rainbow Six Siege.
That's a weird name. Skull Rain?
It is a really weird name.
What is that?
Don't really know what that means. Yeah, the first few operations have made some sort of sense. Black Ice with the Canadians, Dust Line with the Americans in Afghanistan. Not really sure what Skull Rain means, but...
Femur Tsunami. That'd be a better name.
There you go. Maybe we should be hired. But anyway, like I said, the DLC is dropping on August 2nd. I believe that's for Season Pass owners only. They'll have it for a full week before everyone else gets a hold of it.
If you add 7 to the 2nd, that brings you to the 9th.
There you go.
It's when the rest of you scrubs can play it.
This DLC focuses around Brazilian operators Caveira and Kappa Tau. They are a part of the BOPE, which is essentially the Police Special Operations Battalion in Brazil. Now, these aren't the primary special operators in Brazil. These guys help the police with crime and drug trafficking around the favelas on the outskirts of the cities. So their specializations are urban warfare, drug trafficking, and some guerrilla warfare mixed in there as well.
No. So they released information on the 2 operators, which both appear to be female operators, which is kind of cool. Caveira specializes in being silent. Her ability is called Silent Step, and enables her to move around silently on the map for, I would guess, a brief period of time, and immobilize a target and then interrogate that target. I'm not really sure how that's going to entirely work, especially with the animations. Like, how are you supposed to hunt that individual person down, take them down, interrogate them without being killed? It
does seem like a big time investment for sure. And this is interesting because a lot of people have been clamoring for some sort of defensive operator that can go out on the flanks, can get behind people while being silent without being heard, and be able to operate effectively that way. Now, I know that's going to put a lot of fear in the offensive operators. Me particularly, I know I'm going to be checking my back every 5 seconds or so.
I'm going to be pooping myself.
Yeah, this seems to be something that Ubisoft has had a lot of pressure to put into the game, and it looks like they're rewarding the fans in that way.
But it definitely pays off if we can do all of that, because apparently that marks the entire enemy team. Mm-hmm. I don't know how long that mark stands for, and I don't know if the enemy team can actually know that they've been marked either. So I don't know if it provides a notification saying you've been marked, like if a drone did it or a camera did it. But even if the person just has a microphone who was interrogated, they can just tell their team that they've been interrogated.
Oh yeah, they'll be screaming where they are and that they're being interrogated by a Brazilian operator.
There's obviously some problems, and I'm not really sure what interrogation entails either. Like, are you just like beating them senseless on the floor like Batman? Like, where is it? Or is there torture involved? Are we waterboarding these people?
Really don't think Ubisoft is going to have us waterboarding with, the trouble that we've had.
They've put brutal stuff in their games before. We might be torturing people.
We'll have to see. Hopefully not.
You heard it here first. Torture in Rainbow Six.
Oh gosh, I hope not. All right, how about you tell them a little bit about Kappa Tau, or the offensive operator?
Kappa Tau, the offensive operator, has a really terrifying ability, and it is a crossbow that, according to the article, is an asphyxiating crossbow. It is what's called a thermobaric weapon. A thermobaric weapon is something that uses oxygen to power an explosion, or a small explosive, in this case with a crossbow. Apparently you can shoot the crossbow, say, into a room, and it's going to suck up all of the oxygen and cause a fire in that location there. So it seems like it's going to be a lot similar to Smoke's ability, only it's going to be for the offensive character. He can kind of flush a defender out of a corner maybe by lighting that air on fire, kind of like Smoke's ability, causing some damage over time, forcing them to flee out. Maybe if you hit the person directly, it might kill them, and that would be cool. But otherwise, it seems to be flushing out the defenders as it is.
Yeah, while this is kind of an odd weapon being a crossbow, a tactical crossbow, I'll give you that, it does seem like if used correctly in a certain circumstance, like a corner, you could really do a lot of damage. Whether you could actually get splash damage from the explosion and then potentially secondary damage from a smoke-like ability, we'll have to wait and see. But at least now, that's kind of what we're led to believe, so we'll see when it comes out on August 2nd.
Some great teamwork possibilities there of flushing out someone and your teammate kills them as they run out.
Absolutely. Okay, so the next update with the operators is some new weapons coming into the game. For Kavera, the defensive operator, she's going to be using an M12 Italian-made 9mm submachine gun, something similar to a grease gun that the United States used in World War II.
Grease gun, that's what a mechanic uses, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's got kind of a sleek shape. It's a small submachine gun, something I think similar to what Frost has with her 9mm submachine gun as far as effectiveness goes.
Like a Nerf gun.
Yeah, basically.
In terms of effectiveness.
Go for headshots. You want headshots with this weapon. She also has the Spaz 15, which is a dual mod 12-gauge combat shotgun manufactured by the Italians. This looks very similar to the USAS 12. If you're a Battlefield fan, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, you know that gun was super overpowered. Hopefully we don't have to deal with the godlike abilities with that gun, but when it as far as looks go, it's very similar to that gun.
Now you said Spaz. Is that the same as Valkyrie's shotgun?
It's not the same as Valkyrie's shotgun. She uses the Spaz 12, which is kind of a block-like looking weapon. The Spaz 15, and you can go look it up, is very sleek, very modern looking compared to, like I said, a block-like Spaz 12.
So those expensive skins I bought won't carry?
No, they won't. I don't think so. For the secondary, both Kavera and Kappa Tau have the PRB-92 Tactical Beretta sidearm. If you're looking for images of this, you're going to have a little bit of trouble looking for it if you just copy and paste the name from the article, which, by the way, we'll put the link in the description below. But basically, it's a tactical Beretta sidearm, shoots 9mm rounds. It'll be relatively effective on par with the other sidearms from the game.
Like a Nerf gun.
Yeah. Kappa Tau will have not only the tactical crossbow, but she'll also have the M249 squad automatic weapon. It's a SAW is what the Americans call it. It's one of the most effective combat weapons that the Americans use right now in the field, and that seems to be transitioning to the Brazilian Special Forces too.
So another LMG in the game.
There is another LMG in the game. In addition, she has what I believe is a semi-automatic FN fall-like weapon. The Para 308 semi-automatic assault rifle will probably be or work like a DMR, like Buck has or like Blackbeard has in the game. So again, you're going to want to go for headshots. This isn't a high velocity rifle. No, that's not right. It's not a high volume rifle as far as rounds that you can put down range. So accuracy is going to be key if you choose to go with the Para 308.
So if you have mad skills, go with that. If you don't and you want to spray and pray, go with the LMG. And the new map they're adding to the game is a Brazilian favela, which will take place outside of Rio de Janeiro somewhere. The cool thing they mentioned on the blog post is that this will be the most destructible map yet, where you'll be able to breach through the outside walls of, it seems like, every building that they're going to be adding in. So a whole lot more breach points. And unlike some rooms in maybe house or a consulate where there's a lot of windows and you can't necessarily use your reinforcements or utilize them as much as you would like to on the outside walls, and you just kind of feel wasteful just only barricading windows. Now it seems like you can barricade all of the outside walls in this map, so putting up reinforcements will be very important.
Yeah, this map looks and sounds like it's going to foster a very, very quick style of gameplay, obviously extremely destructible. So those operators with shotguns such as Buck and Valkyrie and Frost, those operators are going to be able to create an advantage similarly to what they have on the current maps, blowing holes in walls, jumping through, and potentially surprising an enemy from behind.
If you don't run thermite every single time on this map, you're probably going to be doing something wrong.
Yeah. How about you tell them about the anti-cheating method that's going to be implemented?
Yeah. In a separate article on a separate website, which we can also put the link on that with Ubisoft's main page for Rainbow Six, they talked about some cool additions to the game in terms of anti-cheat. They're finally adding an effective anti-cheat system to the game, which is more impactful for PC players than console players because there's more hackers on that. Sometimes it's blatantly obvious. But PC players, that's great news for you guys because you're getting an effective anti-cheat system, which you've needed for a very long time. And it's kind of surprising that they waited until Season 3 for this to come out, but at least it's there. In addition, there's also some attachments that they're adding to the game. One of these is an angled grip, which allows for a faster transition to aim down sight between hipfire and aiming down sight. And I guess maybe probably when you bring up your weapon as well, if you're switching between sidearm and primary, perhaps that will factor in. There's also a surrender voting system, which they're adding. Finally.
Yeah,
For all the noobs who want to give up, you can now surrender.
Well, yeah, no, I can't tell you how many times that I've been in a ranked match where we're ahead maybe 2-3 games to none, and the other team just simply leaves. While that penalizes them,
themselves.
right, or just commits suicide. While that hurts themselves in the long run, it makes it frustrating for us, the team that's winning, to have to sit and watch that and waste time on that instead of just getting directly into a new game. So I think it's a small change, but in the long run, I think it'll actually help save time and save some sanity for guys that are actually good at the game.
Yeah, so say there's 3 out of the 5 people on the team who don't want to play anymore. They don't have to shoot each other and kill each other now.
Yeah.
They can just vote to quit. And the people who don't want to leave, instead of having a bullet in their head, can just vote against it and ultimately lose. But at least they have somewhat of a say instead of dying.
One restriction on that, the team that votes to surrender has to do that by a majority on their team before the 3rd round. Otherwise, the surrender ability goes away. The final thing that I think we can talk about here is the addition of a tactical realism custom game mode. Now, I have to caveat this because I'm not totally sure if this is going to be a custom game mode or if this will be implemented right alongside casual and ranked. Now, the reason I say that is because of the addition of the word custom game mode here in the article. The description leads me to believe that it will go along with casual and ranked gameplay, but we're not totally sure. We haven't seen it in practice yet, so we'll have to see about that.
So you're saying there's a chance I might not be able to play like I'm a tactical shooter in some sort of SWAT team against ranked teams?
I guess so.
Oh, man.
But anyway, the details on this specific game mode are mostly it's as realistic as they can get. You'll have your HUD displayed, but it will only display the timer, the compass, your gadget, and weapon panels. No longer will you be able to mark enemy teams on your map or on the screen. So if I spot someone with a camera, it might give me points, but it's not going to reveal their location to the rest of my team, something that I know frustrates me with casual and ranked gameplay.
Instead, you just have the important stuff like a compass.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, in Battlefield, if you're listening to this, put the compass in hardcore. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for Ghosthusky10 for Irish Unity. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you drop a comment, like our video. We'll put the link to our Twitter page also in the description. Make sure you go follow us on that for updates in the gaming world. Thanks.
Bye.
Hey guys, it's Irish with Normal People Play, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the nations and uniforms in Battlefield 1. World War I is becoming an increasingly forgotten war,